Hi Thrivers, Megan here. So your kit today, you have a moon phases kit, and we're going to make a moon phases board. In your kit, you have a little sheet of paper, phases of the moon facts. So I want to show you the activity, and so I'm going to point the camera downward so you can see this, and I'll talk to you about the different phases as we go through and do the project. All right, you can see it. So bear with me because I'm doing this upside down, so it's the right side up for you, but I think I've got it. So you have these circles. Now I have colored some of mine, so I wouldn't have to take the time to color all of them, but I'm going to color a couple because I'm going to show you just something to be aware of. So this I've colored all black. I used a Sharpie because that's what I have at home. You can use any black marker. But what I did is I colored half of it and waited for the ink to dry, and then I could hold it on the other half and color the other half. Now on the bottom, there's a sticker. So this bottom is sticky. Now what I'm choosing to do though, rather than just take this off and stick it right on here, I'm actually going to take some glue and just put it there too, just to make it a little extra sturdy. So now I'm going to take my paper off the bottom and I'm going to glue. And can you see the circles are drawn on your paper? So this one is going to go, this is the new moon. And it cannot be seen. That's why it's black. We can't see the new moon because it's black in the sky. And you'll see that on your fact sheet. But we're looking at the unlit half of the moon, which is why it looks dark. Okay? And that is when the moon is directly between the earth and the sun, and that's why we can't see this half of it. So then after the new moon, we have the waxing crescent moon, and that's this. And see, we just see that sliver, and it gradually happens. So we're going to do the same here, and that comes after our new moon. And it's going this way, the waxing. Waxing means that the crescent increases, it waxes, that's what that means, in size from one day to the next. So gradually this side is getting, the side that's visible is getting bigger. Okay, so it goes this way up. So I'm going to put some glue right there. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. We're just kind of giving a little extra security. And I'm going to pull my paper off the bottom. And I'm going to make sure I do it the right way up. And I'm going to glue that one down there. Okay. Now the next one is called the first quarter moon, half moon. And that's when half the lit portion is visible after the waxing crescent phase. So that's why it's in half. And we're going to glue that one down next. And see, I'm gluing the white side on this side because look, we have the waxing moon, and so it's gradually getting bigger, right? The visible part. So this is the tricky part, because look, this is going to look the same, right? This looks the same as this one, the same as this one, same as this one. So this is the tricky part when you're coloring in, to make sure you're coloring it correctly. So this one, it's narrow. It's the waxing crescent. This is the quarter moon. This is called the waxing gibbous moon. So more than half is going to be seen. So therefore, I am going to color just this little part black, because the visible portion is getting larger. The white part, the light part of the moon. The moon's not actually completely white, is it? When we look up, it's more of gray, and you can see some patterns in it. But for this, we're just doing a representation. Now I'm coloring around the edge. I have some other marks because I use these for tracing. But I'm coloring around the edge so I don't see it. And I'm making sure I'm keeping my fingers off the black part, because I found this out. If you get it on your fingers and then you touch the white part, it's gonna get fingerprints, right? I forgot about that part. So I let these dry before I worked with them, but they don't take long. It depends what kind of marker you use, but they don't take too long. So now I did this part. I'm going to peel off the back again. And I'm going to make sure I put it this way, because the moon, the visible portion of the moon, is getting larger. Okay, then we go to this. That is a full moon. The full moon, and I don't need to color that one at all, because we can see the whole thing when we have the full moon. And that happens when it's on the opposite side of the earth from the sun. And it lights up the whole face of it. So we have a full moon. And now we are going to do the waning gibbous moon. Now that means our moon is starting to go back the other way. So you can still see, we can still see the larger portion of it, like here. But because it's on this side, it's showing that it's gradually getting darker. Gradually, and the side it's not being lit up completely anymore. So it's gradually getting darker. So I'm going to glue this one on this way to show that now it's getting darker this way. And then, look, we have another half moon. This one is called the last quarter moon. This is the first quarter, because that's where the visible part is increasing. And the visible part is decreasing. So it's the last quarter moon. It's kind of funny that they call it a quarter moon, because it's actually, what we can see is the half moon, but it's only a quarter of it because the moon is round. So I'm going to glue it on like this, because see, the dark is still going this way, right? Now, I left this one uncolored as well, because again, it's a tricky one. So the dark, it keeps going this way, right? Keep going this way. So I'm going to color this larger portion of the moon. When you have a lot of pieces with all the same crescents, it's tricky to remember which part to color and which part to leave white sometimes. So sometimes it helps to do each part as you glue them down. And that helps you get a really good visual of how to color each piece. I did mine in advance so that the video wouldn't be too long for you guys. Okay, and now put my little glue right here. This is called the waning crescent moon. I'm going to put it this way, because remember the dark is going this way. And we just have a little sliver left before we go back around to the new moon where it is not visible. So waxing is as we're seeing more of the moon, and waning as we're seeing less of the moon. And it goes around and around, just like our Earth. So those are the phases of the moon. And you'll want to leave it to dry a little bit so they stay where they're at. And then you can either choose to write something, moon phases, in the middle if you want to, or you can just leave it like this. It may become a piece of art on your wall. However you choose to display it, if you choose to display it. So there's more facts about the moon than I told you on your phases little paper here, all about the phases of the moon. I didn't want to read it all out to you. You can have, and if you don't read it, that's okay. Have a parent or a brother or a sister read it to you. It's fine. Enjoy and have fun with it. And I hope you learned some more about our moon. Bye, guys.